Good morning, folks. So last Friday's chip break, I made a statement. When I rewatch it, I realize it's it's easy to, I misstated it, which is that I made this comment that money sort of equals success in life. And totally, that's not what I meant. What I meant was it is success for a business. And for me, yes, a business is a large part of my identity and what I do. And I do think it's a little bit of an obligation since I decided to leave my day job, a few years ago and take a risk at being able to build something that I think will be successful here. But no, geez, not at all did I mean to make it sound like or convey that it's just, money is success in life. There's so much more. And today's Monday. On Wednesday, I get to go on vacation with my wife and 2-year-old and enjoy some time off and be with family. And I will say this, that family, friends, and business are kind of the three big things for me. I don't have right now, at least, a lot of other hobbies or things. I love my family, and so that is for sure a big part of the picture. I didn't mean to convey anything other than that. I also am not going to apologize for saying that if you want to build a business, part of that business being a success needs to be its ability to generate and sustain itself. I am of the opinion that we live in a world where people, banks and credit card companies and lenders make it so easy and so enticing. Buy this and pay for it later. Live beyond your means from a personal life or from a business life. And I just don't agree with that. I'm not saying that there's no time ever for debt. I listen to Dave Ramsey. I like a lot of what he says. I think some of it is a little out of touch, or I think Dave's got this thing he'll never deviate from, of never take an ounce of debt on. I think it's very, very, very specific when you can and should do that. It just also just goes back to your personality and your risk appetite. I like kind of building a very defenseful business where I've got a lot of I like stacking the deck in my favor, basically. So what that means is I grow a little bit slower, but I try to save up more and pay for stuff with cash. That's my belief. I think that doesn't always work for everybody, mostly because, again, it kind of goes back full circle. People want stuff now, and companies and banks and everybody can make that happen, and that's how you can get in over your head. And oh man, you talk about a bummer is when somebody has a passion and a success and it doesn't work out because they get in over their head, and then things can go south quick, and that's not a good outcome. So if there's something I do want to convey, I'm really grateful. I was raised by parents who were really frugal and really instilled that value, and I think if you don't have that benefit, this can be a tough lesson to learn. I really do. I welcome opinions and comments below, but to wrap that up, no. Money is part of a business success picture, and it's a much smaller part of the overall life picture. What is going on today? John Grimsmo reminded me, or made a statement, a really good quote, and it's in a book I'm actually excited to read on vacation, which is, I think, the E-Myth Revisited. Where's that quote? Grimsmo's quote is, I like to know that I can do everything, but that doesn't mean that I should. And that's what I'm going through right now. Right now, this morning, I'm writing checks, I'm shipping orders, I'm doing Ohio Bureau of Workers' Comp address update, which is unbelievably complicated. I got to get some of that stuff off my plate. I am a hands-on guy. I'm a bootstrapper. I wasn't the kind of guy who was going to pay money early on to send that stuff out. I'm at the point now where I probably should. Most of the stuff, I'm glad that I'm doing it. I like that I know the basics of doing my taxes. I like that I know accounting. I know some of the basics behind shipping and operations and stuff. Now it's time to think about getting that stuff out to experts. Literally, let people that are as passionate as I am about machining do accounting. Yes, there are people out there that are that excited about accounting. The other thing I want to mention today is a lesson I learned, which is being exhausted or stressed at the end of a day because you ran around and worked your butt off. That's not always a sign of good work. Hard work is not always good work. Yes, at the end of a good day, you might be exhausted, but being exhausted does not mean you were productive. And I'm guilty of that because sometimes I'm too reactive. I'm reacting to all these different things around me, these stimuluses, emails, problems, things that pop up, and it's exhausting. It really is. And at the end of the day, I'm not necessarily as productive as I should have been. So I'm still chewing around on how do I not let things build up by ignoring them, but also how do I sit down and focus? You know, that's honestly a good reason. One reason why I've struggled to get some of these Arduino projects back out is, for me, I got to sit down and kind of spend time on those, and I love it. But in the last year, with all the moves and distractions and changes, I haven't made that a priority, and it's time to do that again, which is awesome. We're starting to rethink how we handle raw material. I used to like this idea of ordering extras or trying to have common sizes on hand, and yes, I like that. I like having some on hand, but I'm realizing as we grow and looking forward, I'm treating it more as just in time. We order our material from Alro. They bring a truck from Columbus for, used to be $11, it's now $6 on my invoices. Now, the more you buy, the better your rate for the actual material, but still, the shipping is like negligible. So rather than trying to figure out, oh, do I have it on hand and how much do I have on hand, is, you know, I'm basically treating that stuff as, you know, it comes the next day. So it's just like Amazon Prime or whatever else. It avoids the stress and obligations of having to store even more material going forward. And it's not a competitive advantage for us from a job shop or operational standpoint. It is a little advantageous if you bought in quantity to get a better price, but again, that's a cost. It's also not free to keep it here. It's not free to store it. It's not free if you don't know what you have on hand to make it useful for a job. What else do I want to mention? Oh, so yeah, I've got to get that lathe job going today. This is the one I be honest, I really struggled with the Fusion cam here, which we'll cover in the video on it. We'll do a full video. It's a pretty big part. It's about 7 inches in diameter, so it's sort of complex shape in terms of work holding. And unfortunately, I can't cut this groove on the lathe because I don't have an ID profiling tool or face grooving tool. So we're going to machine it with this boss on it on the lathe and then hold it in these set of soft jaws I cut on Friday, and we're actually going to do this part in the lathe and then we'll finish it back up. This is, again, that boss is something that I added. It'll actually look like that on the cavity. So got to get that done. Last week's Fusion Friday was this, this is the fixture we made for it. It was this thin 19 thou sheet metal part, which we actually, the Fusion Friday was on the CAD, but we did make it for a customer. And you can't see it as easily now, but there was a little boss in the center, which kept it centered. And then we put a large washer around here to hold it down, along with the super glue. The super glue didn't work as well on steel as it did on aluminum. It worked, just not as well, but we still got it done. The reason this is discolored is we used a rosebud just to heat up the super glue to pop the thing out, and then we powder coated it. That's all I had for today. Take care. See you soon.